Oh my goodness me. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I don't know if you can hear it on the Velux windows as well, but it is tipping it outside. It is wet, it is cold, it is windy. It is the definition of January blues. Well, good morning everyone and welcome to one of the rainiest January days here in Hampshire. It is absolutely miserable this morning and I'm not gonna lie, my mood is really reflective of the weather. I know I've spoken about this quite a lot, but I am someone that suffers seriously bad with seasonal affective disorder. I've never been diagnosed. I don't even think if you can get diagnosed, but I rely so heavily on my Lumilight in winter, and my goodness me, is my mood affected by the weather outside, by my surroundings, by the temperatures, by what's happening. I am someone that when it's a rainy, grim day like today, I feel grim inside. It's the only way to describe it. Yesterday was actually blue skies. I filmed loads of content. I was in such a good mood. I was actually skipping around the house like, doesn't it look so lovely? Oh, it's such a lovely winter sun. And then today, it's almost like the weather decided to put its middle finger up at me because it is so grey and so miserable. I was planning on filming a bit more content today, but it doesn't look like I am going to be able to, which is a bit of a shame. But I've already been up. I've had my morning coffee and my morning kefir, which you would have seen at the end of the last video you would have watched. My 2022, keep saying 2022, my 2023 glow up video. If you didn't watch to the end of that, go back and watch it because I chat all about internal as well as external glow ups for the year. So hoping that that will give me a little bit of an energy boost and a little bit of a lift because this weather, this is just not a vibe. Well, seeing as though I can't get on with the things that I was planning on doing today, I'm still gonna try and spend my time productively and get some things ticked off my list that I've been meaning to do for a while, mainly up here in my dressing room. I wanna have a little bit of a reorganize. I haven't really reorganized the dressing room since Christmas, which I feel like is quite a long time ago now, and I really want to give it a bit of a rezhuzh. I want to start up my shelves again. I already actually made a start the other night and you guys should be so proud of me because I made a start on this wardrobe. If you guys have been around for a while, you'll know the wardrobe kind of like set up. So we've got like dresses and coats in this section, and then this section is shelves. And it used to be so messy. You guys will probably remember what it used to look like whenever I used to show you. It was absolutely horrendous. And it got to a point between Christmas and New Year where I was like, you know what? This just needs some sorting. So I dedicated a day and I managed to reorganize it, and I've actually kept it that way for quite a few weeks now. So I'm really proud of myself. So this is currently what this wardrobe now looks like. And I know it still looks quite full and a little bit messy, but trust me, compared to what it used to be, this is such a difference now. I'm really happy with it, and I feel like not only is it a little bit more aesthetic, but I feel like everything like has a place, and that's the main thing when it comes to organization and sorting that people always say is kind of like the key to good organization, is making sure everything has a home and everything has a place, so that at the end of the day you know exactly where things need to go. So currently on the top shelf I've got all of my big tote bags. So in here I've got my Marc Jacobs tote bag, I've got my like Longchamp bag, loads of like big handbags that I use when I'm like in London or just for like laptop days, work days, things like that. So they all go at the top here. Then on this section you'll actually notice right at the back is my Katie Loxton weekend bag. It folds up really small, which is absolutely amazing. And then I've just got my Pandora. This is literally just stuff I don't really reach for, to be honest. This is my Pandora jewellery box. This is my travel one. And then I just have the gorgeous Dior box, which I haven't decided what to do with yet. I then now have a dedicated bag section. One thing I'm really wanting to do this year is to not have all of my bags out on display, and I've been really honing in on the things that I want to have displayed over on those shelves. So I had quite a few bags that weren't being displayed. I wasn't sure what to do with, so I wanted to make them easy access, and I wanted to make sure that they were really easily like visible, reachable, that I knew where they all are, because I feel like when things look aesthetic, it makes me want to use them more. When I don't remember that my bags are there, I literally won't use them. So we've got back row bags that I don't tend to reach for as much. So my Loewe bag is in there, my puzzle. I've got my Cézanne crossbody that's more of like a walking weekend bag. This is just a Dior tote bag. I've got my Lily and Bean and my little Coach pillow. And then at the front are bags that I reach for so much more. We've got a little gap here, which is really, really nice because it means that I can add one in. I don't need to be doing a one in, one out system just yet, but I've got my Louis Vuitton Pochette Matisse, I've got my Mulberry Alexa, which is definitely a highly, highly reachable bag, and then I've got my little Coach Tabby, which I absolutely adore, and it just makes it so much more accessible and means that I can reach for them so much easier. Then on the next shelf, I've got all of my hair stuff, and this is probably going to look really messy and going to look really unorganized, but actually this is the best method for me. So in here I keep everything in terms of hair products. So I keep my hairbrush, my straighteners, I keep like dry shampoo, curlers, hair dryer, everything that I could possibly need with regards to my hair goes in there. And then this drawer is more like files, anything important, things that are, you know, a little bit boring. And then bottom drawer is shoes. So I've got mainly just boots in here. I try really hard to keep my shoes quite seasonal. So yeah, so I've got like my Vivaya shoes, my flat boots, things like that all go down there. So it's looking so much more organized. I'm very, very proud of myself. I also organized this top section here. So we literally just have hats, fake tan, and then this is like wires, plugs, anything else that I need that is very unaesthetic, that all goes up there. So I'm really, really happy with how this wardrobe is looking. I feel like I've made some real segue with regards to its organization. One job though that I have not quite been brave enough to tackle yet is my shelves. You guys know how much pride I take in my shelves. I love the aesthetic and the organization of having open shelves, having a few things on display, but I always like to try and keep it as curated and as kind of current as possible. I want it to inspire me. I want it to be quite reflective of the season, and I do feel like this is still a little bit festive with like the sparkly bags and things like this. So I think what I'm going to do is actually just empty the shelves and start from fresh, because I want a pair of fresh eyes on these shelves, and I want it to be like really just like fresh for the new year, I guess. Fresh, fresh, fresh. Take a shot every time I say that. But yeah, I think I just want to start from scratch, clear the shelves off, and get ready to start restyling them. Well, I don't think I have seen my dressing room this empty since we literally moved in back in May. You guys might remember the rigmarole of how long it took to get my dressing room looking to this point when we first moved in. If you didn't follow the moving vlogs, then you might not know, but it did take a lot of kind of like moving and reshuffling to get it to a point where I'm really happy, and I love my setup. Absolutely adore how the dressing room looks. If ever you're wondering where anything's from, so these shelves are actually just IKEA. They're the Billy bookcase from there. Super affordable, but look really, really chic. You can kind of like change up the sizing of the shelves. You can make them like all the exact same size. You can have them like I do, where they're a little bit different. And then this wardrobe is also from IKEA. In terms of my little stool, so this one here and this one over here, they're both from Still and Bloom. When I got them, I thought they were going to be the same color. They're slightly different woods, but then I don't know if that's because they're completely natural. Obviously, no two woods are exactly the same, so it doesn't bother me. Like, I keep them fairly separate, and I feel like it's not too obvious when you're like filming and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like I literally have not seen my dressing room this empty in such a long time. Although I do say empty, this section is empty. This section now looks like this with everything off of the shelves, but I feel like it's just really therapeutic to get it all off. And as I said, I literally have not done this since we moved in. I've just got my tripod here from where I was filming that time lapse, but I literally haven't done this since we moved in all the way back in May. So it feels really nice to have it completely cleared. I'm going to give it a clean, and then we can start restyling. this room is looking a whole lot better now. The shelves have been reshuffled and I feel like they are looking fab. As you can see, I've kept a few things kind of similar to before, but I've changed up quite a bit, specifically in terms of tone. I really wanted to add a few warmer tones in. The only shelf I'm unsure about is this top one. Is it too black? Because obviously there's no other colour in there, but let me know what you think, if you think I should reshuffle that a little bit. I could always swap the Louis Vuitton and the Chloe. I'm not entirely sure, but I really like how it looks. I feel like it's giving a really lovely mixture of like fashion, but just kind of like styled up. So top shelf, we've got a couple of boxes. So this is a Saint Laurent one that I got my sac de jour in, and then this is a little one that I got a jewellery piece and I got a bracelet. It actually now houses all of my brooches. I do try to be as practical as possible with regards to like utilising these boxes. So this one's empty, but this one actually houses my brooches, and it just means that as well as being aesthetic, it also is practical storage. So yeah, and then I've also got my little Chloe bag, which I've just rested on some cereal magazines, just to try and break up the black a little bit. But let me know what you think. This shelf I absolutely adore. I've just put my little Louis Vuitton Pochette Matisse on display because I do absolutely adore it, and I love the greenery of this. This was just an old IKEA faux plant with the H&M Home half head. I think they do still restock this, so I will link it down below if I can. And then I've just started up a few books there, which obviously are very aesthetic books, look really pretty. And then this shelf I'm really wanting to warm up a bit. I feel like there was just far too much black on the shelves before, so I've got my gorgeous sac de jour, and you guys will know if you watch my best and worst video that this was actually my worst list, and I thought maybe bringing it down to a more accessible shelf might help me style it up a little bit more and just kind of like notice it a bit more. So I've put that on that shelf with a couple of prints and my gorgeous H&M Home bust, which I actually think I got for Christmas last year, maybe? I've had that for quite a while. I absolutely adore it. This shelf, again, we're utilising some storage boxes. So these are just from Jo Malone, which I've started up with my little YSL. I've then brought my Demelier bag out from storage. As you can see, it's been a little bit bent in storage. So hopefully that kind of just like fixes itself and relaxes, because I really like how it looks, especially paired with the totem scarf. They're like warmer brownie tones. I feel like are really giving me like January vibes, but in a good way. And then at the bottom, we've just got some more Jo Malone storage boxes and my H&M shell vase. I've kind of tried to keep this shelf as minimal as possible because it is obviously right behind me as I'm filming. I don't want it to be a distraction. So I've styled some gorgeous flowers, which these are just faux flowers, with a couple of books, a Jo Malone candle, and then I've got my Dyson Airwrap underneath. So that, again, both practical because it's easy access, but really aesthetic. So I really like how it fills that space. And then this side I'm really liking as well. I'm really trying to create a more minimal vibe with regards to this unit from Still and Bloom. So I've just kind of styled this the same because I love how this looks. This is a book called Live Beautiful. It's the most aesthetic home book I think I've ever owned. This and my White Company ones are just my favourites, and I just started up with a Dip Deep candle, which I absolutely adore. This is like a little urn that I think I picked up from Home Sense maybe, and again it started up with some faux flowers. I love faux foliage because it's just a really great way of adding greenery without having to actually care or maintain it. I've then got my other Louis Vuitton bag. This is the, I think the Speedy. I bought this when I was about 18. Literally don't use it, but it's beautiful for storage, for aesthetics, sorry, really beautiful on display. So I really like how the Vuittons look when they're kind of like near each other. I feel like it just really creates a lovely vibe. And then this is just a little partially practical, partially aesthetic tray. It's got a really gorgeous candle. This is a Cezanne candle I've had for years and I've never lit it because it smells absolutely incredible and it's just so beautiful. I then got a little Typeology cream. This is just like a hand cream, and my favourite perfumes. So this was my To Me, Love Me Christmas present, the Dior Ombre Nuit. Such a stunning scent. So that's kind of like my evening scent, and then this is more like my daytime scent. This is the Jo Malone English Pear and Freesia. So really happy with the storage and the aesthetic of this vibe now. I really love how the room looks. I feel like it's really bringing it into January, giving it a really nice refresh, and just really great organisation and really great storage. Just in case you were wondering, that is definitely not my only two perfumes I have in my collection. This is where the rest of my perfumes are kept, and I reach for these quite a lot actually, like specifically this Jo Malone one, the Molten Brown ones. These are some absolute favourites of mine. That's just a hand sanitizer that I can grab and take with me when I'm heading into London. But yeah, so I keep these here. I've got like Jo Malone ones towards the back, and then ones that I reach for a little bit more often towards the front. This is like the rest of my perfume collection and storage. We've got lipsticks on this side as well, ones that I maybe don't wear as often. I feel like this drawer used to be an absolute bomb site, and it doesn't look the tidiest, but I think it's because it's quite a multifunctional drawer. I don't really have the capacity to keep it looking that aesthetic. So we've got like perfumes this side, I've got lipsticks this side, and then I've got like work stuff, so like my dongle that I use to like transfer photos and files. I've got like chargers and things like that at the back there. So it's one of those drawers that I feel like it doesn't look the most aesthetic, but it's actually a very practical and well used drawer. I feel like I need to do that thing where you like step out of the room and then kind of like walk in it as if you were as if you were someone that's just like come into your house just to see what it looks like. But no, I'm really happy with this. I feel like I've not actually given you a full dressing room tour, particularly not since we first moved in back in May, and there's been a lot of new faces since then. I mean, you see pretty much the entirety of this room in my daily vlogs anyway, but obviously we've got the shelving unit here, all of my lovely bags, all of the lovely styling, and then this wardrobe here is kind of like my styling wardrobe, so it's got new in pieces, anything that I want to show you, things that I want to shoot, things like that, so I keep that in there, and I just have a little basket over the top, which I absolutely love. This is like my little summer edition, which I know it's not really the right season, but I love it so much. And then this is kind of like become a bit of a multifunctional space. You may have seen recently that I'm turning this into not only my dressing table, but also my workspace. Sorry, I know it's completely backlit, but I've got my new chair, which you would have seen in a recent video, and I absolutely love it. It's so much comfier, so much easier to sit in, do my makeup. I took a call here this morning and it was so lovely. So I took away the mirror, and we just have these like blinds. I literally got these from IKEA. They were so affordable, really handy and great if you want to diffuse light, let the light still come in, but also stop anyone from outside seeing in, because otherwise people would be able to see me changing when I'm filming. That is not a vibe. So yeah, so this is kind of like a bit of a multifunctional space. I haven't fully decided what I'm doing with regards to the dressing of the windowsill yet, because I do still want to keep it quite practical and functional. So in the drawers, obviously we've got, like, as I just showed you, perfumes and stuff. This one is skincare and it's looking absolutely horrendous at the moment. So let's just close that up. That can be an organisation for another day. But I've got my beauty effects. So I've got like some more skincare and stuff in here, my everyday makeup in here, my mirror. I've got obviously my jewellery that you would have seen me organising recently. I feel like we've been doing a lot of updates and organisation in this room, so I really like it because it's a nice airy space. Like, I don't feel claustrophobic at all, and even though I can't see out onto the street, I still feel like it's nice and light and bright, and I really like this area to do my work. I really like the fact that we've got these blinds because it just makes it so much more private and so much more, I don't know, lovely. And then over in this corner, this is my bigger wardrobe, so I just keep on top my suitcase, and then this is a basket full of winter accessories. So obviously that changes seasonally. At the moment it's got gloves, scarves, hats, all of that jazz. So then in these doors we've got my coats as well as my dresses. So I've got coats, which then moves on to party dresses, which then moves on to winter knitwear dresses and jumper dresses and cardigans and things like that. And then of course we've got this wardrobe as well, which has been very nicely organised. I've also put my fedora back on the back of this door because I really like how it looks. I feel like it just adds something to the door, and I must admit, one of my favourite things about this house when I moved in, which when I said it to Alex, he was like, you are mad, is the doors. I love the doors. I love this kind of like old fashioned like panelling style. Love the fact that they've got like knobs instead of handles. I think it's really lovely, and it just adds a little bit more detail. And then of course this side as well, so we've got the mirror, the dressing table, and then my little cloud chair, which I always get questions about this as well. Actually, this was from made.com, which I think has gone into liquidation now, which is really sad. It looks like we've got a stain there, but I think it's just the way that the boucle is kind of moving. But I will see if I can find some similar and link them down below. I think Dunelm have a similar one at the moment, which is really gorgeous. But I really love having an accent chair in a room. I feel like every room needs an accent chair. But yeah, a little bit of a dressing room tour, because I feel like I've not given you one in months, and we've had lots of new faces since I first moved into this house all the way back in May. Speaking of which, if ever you miss my moving vlogs, feel free to go back and watch them. I've got like a whole playlist saved of like moving vlogs, interior, things like that, because you know how much I adore it, and it's actually insane to go back and watch and see how much the house has changed already in the space of 6 months, and over the course of the next year I'm sure it's going to change even more. So definitely go back and watch those videos if you wanted to. But a little bit of a dressing tour, a little bit of an organise, feeling really good for that. look at the shelves. Oh my goodness, I love them. I feel like they just look so curated and pulled together, and it really is giving me the most organized wardrobe vibes. And now that we've got everything to a point where it's organized, it's sorted, everything's away, everything has a home, it's time to destroy that and start adding some new things in. Honestly, I am horrendous. I feel like as soon as we get to a point where it's like, it's done and I am happy and everything has its home, it's time to start adding in some pieces that are just going to completely throw off the vibe that I need to find new homes for and reorganized. But I have been doing a little bit of shopping at one of my favorite retailers when it comes to winter fashion. Warehouse is one of those fashion brands that I feel like in winter they just come into their own. I absolutely adore their pieces. They have so many wardrobe staples, and if there's one thing that I'm really trying to do with regards to my shopping this year is shop a lot more consciously. I want to make sure that I really am filling gaps in my wardrobe, adding in pieces that I'm really going to get the wear out of. You guys know how much I go on about cost per wear, and I want to make sure that everything I'm adding in, I'm going to get the cost per wear out of. It's a really like sensible, practical purchase. It's filling a gap in my wardrobe, and I'm really going to love having it in my collection. So I thought I would show you a few winter outfits that I've been picking up from Warehouse, because there's some really cute pieces in here. Starting with probably the most practical item that I kind of can't believe that I have been missing from my wardrobe for this long, and I know that I've mentioned it a couple of times already this winter, but a black coat. I feel like a black coat is one of those items that you just can't not have in your winter wardrobe. It's so classic, it's so timeless, it's so chic, and once you've added like a really gorgeous investment piece into your wardrobe, it's the kind of thing that you will bring out year on year on year. So when I saw this gorgeous coat at Warehouse, I just could not help myself but pick it up, and when I saw that it was actually in petite, I could not add it into my basket any quicker. So this is a really gorgeous petite kind of pea, oversized pea coat. Really stunning. It's got these really lovely like double-breasted detail with the 4 buttons. I absolutely love the collar. Now it doesn't have a belt, and I do feel like when it comes to my winter coats, I love a belt, but I wanted to try a silhouette that's maybe slightly different and slightly, I don't know, looser, more casual. I feel like there's going to be lots of different situations that I can wear this to. A black coat's the kind of thing that you can literally style up with anything. Jeans, leggings, dresses, skirts. It's so versatile and easy to wear, and I just thought this was a great addition to add into my wardrobe. Something that really was missing, and the kind of thing that I'm seriously going to get my cost per wear out of. Public service announcement. The perfect long line black winter coat exists. And it exists in petite. We have found it, guys. We have found it. I am in love with this coat. Now, in terms of sizing, I didn't size up in this. I feel like a lot of these coats usually will come oversized anyway. So I went for a 12, which is what I usually go for in coats. In terms of reference, if you don't know, I'm a 10 on top and a 12 on bottom. But when it comes to coats, I always go for a 12, particularly winter coats that I can wear chunky knits, lots of layers underneath. And this is definitely the perfect fit. So I don't think you need to size up in this at all. You could size down actually if you wanted it to be a little bit more fitted, but then I worry that it wouldn't fit as well in the arms. This is literally just perfect. I cannot get over the length of this. I've just paired it with literally what I'm wearing, my leggings and my jumper, and I've just put on a pair of flat ankle bobbies boots, and I really love the vibe that it gives. I feel like it's really elongating on my body, really lengthening on my legs, and the fact that it actually has a crop, I never normally get that with winter coats. It's very exciting. I feel like it's a really nice way of showing off different footwear as well. Lots of boots, cute trainers. I feel like there's loads of different ways that you could style up this coat. Of course, I've got it on with an all black outfit, but lots of colour underneath would look really cute as well. I love the 4-button detail that it's got going on. I kind of do miss the fact that it's got a belt, but this is supposed to be a different vibe and a different kind of silhouette. So I do really think I like it. And I definitely think I'm going to get the wear out of this over the next coming months. It's actually a little bit thinner than I was expecting. It's not as heavy and it's not as warm as my woolen one. So I think this will be the perfect one over the next couple of months when the weather starts to get a little bit warmer, but you still like to have those nice wintry layers. So yeah, I'll link this down below in petite and in the regular fit, depending on which one you do want to shop. But I am just in love with this. I really hope the lighting is okay in these clips, by the way. I'm currently in a bit of a race against time with this haul because it's 3 o'clock, the sun is about to set in an hour, and I really want to get these clips filmed before I have to turn on the main light. But the next thing that I wanted to show you is, again, something that I really feel like has been missing from my wardrobe, and particularly a colorway that I am seriously filling a gap with, and it's this really gorgeous cable knit jumper. Now, if you know me, you know how much I adore cable knits. I have so many in my collection now. I've got at least half a dozen Ralph Lauren ones. I've got quite a few high street ones. I've got like blacks, I've got whites, but if there's one colour that I do not have, it is grey. And I feel like grey is a little bit of a stereotypical colour to go for in January, but there is a reason for that. It is timeless, it is classic, and it is very of the moment, a very January colour. I feel like start up with either like black or white accessories, I think will look really, really cool. And what I really liked about this jumper, if you can see here, is the neckline. So this is actually a mock turtleneck, and I feel like Warehouse do the best mock turtlenecks I've ever owned. As a shorter girl, I don't like wearing really big chunky roll necks. They can be really overwhelming, really claustrophobic, and give you a little bit of a double chin, in my opinion. If you've got a piece of material here, you're kind of almost like fighting it. I feel like it really gives me a double chin, which is not the most flattering thing in the world. So I like my jumpers to be nice and cozy, nice and high, but not too high, which is what I really, really love about Warehouse's knitwear. They have some really, really gorgeous pieces with the best neckline I could ever ask for. So I thought this was a great addition into my wardrobe, the kind of thing that I can wear with leggings, with wide leg trousers, even like with a slip skirt. I feel like this is the kind of thing that you can dress up or dress down, so I'm definitely going to get my cost per wear out of this. Oh my gosh, this knit is just the cutest thing ever. I didn't actually realise it has a bit of a crop to it, which I actually quite like. I think it's quite nice, but if you wanted to, I would say to size up maybe one size. I think I got this in a medium. Maybe a large would have been a bit better if you want that like baggier fit, but I really, really love the vibe of this. I love this like diamond detail with regards to the cable knit. It's so different and so unique, and it makes it look really expensive, I'm not gonna lie. I also love the little details that it's got like on the sleeves. It's kind of like a bell sleeve, so it comes in at the cuff, which is super flattering, and of course the neckline is really lovely and cozy without being claustrophobic, so ticking so many boxes for me, and the colorway is just gorgeous. So I'm really glad that I've added this jumper into my wardrobe. I think it's going to be something you see a lot of this winter. Now this next item, I'm not gonna lie to you, is probably the least practical item on like a surface level. First impressions, you're going to think that is not practical in the slightest, but I've thought this through, and I have a reason why I have picked up this pink cowboy jumper. Look at this. I'm kind of obsessed, and I feel like there are certain things whenever you're shopping online that maybe don't tick the boxes of what you typically wear. Maybe they're not the color palette that you always go for, but you just fall in love with, and this jumper was that for me. So it's this really gorgeous pink jumper with a daisy print running all the way around it, like it's on the back as well, and then it's got this big motif of this like cowboy. I think he's like riding on the horse backwards, like those are his boots. He's got this lasso there. It's very interesting, and you know what, this is actually giving me real Ralph Lauren vibes. I've seen a lot of Ralph Lauren jumpers that are quite similar in style to this, but obviously much more expensive. So I got this for a fraction of the Ralph Lauren prices. But my reasoning for this is because it's going to be my gardening jumper. Basically, I'm really wanting to get into my gardening this year. I know I've spoken a little bit about it in my what I got for Christmas video. I received the really gorgeous book From Seed to Bloom, and it's so inspired me to get out in the garden, start planting some seeds, start getting the garden ready for spring. But obviously it's still really chilly at the moment, and I'm the kind of person that I don't enjoy looking scruffy. I don't like wearing old clothes. I don't like wearing things that have got like rips in them. Like I'm not the kind of person that if I've got like joggers, I'll keep them because they've got rips in, because they'll be my at-home clothes. It doesn't make me feel good. I don't like it. So I like to still look put together whilst being really comfortable, and I know it's going to be the exact same when it comes to gardening. So I just want like a super comfy jumper, some leggings, a pair of Crocs, and I am good to go. So I know it's a little bit excessive to buy a jumper purely for gardening purposes, but that is what this is for me. The pink is really going to lift my spirits. It's going to get me excited for spring, but it's still going to keep me nice and snugly warm. So probably the least practical purchase out of all of these, but I do think I'm going to get my wear out of it, and I'm going to prove it to you over the next few months. Any gardening videos that I do, I'm probably going to be wearing this, and you guys can hold me accountable to that. Oh my gosh, I am in love. I am so so in love. This jumper is just the cutest thing in the world. I love the fact that it's more of like a crew neck as well, so it doesn't come up too high, but it's got quite a nice collar that just keeps you really nice and snugly warm. Again, we've got bell sleeves with a cuff, which I love with these kinds of jumpers, especially if I'm going to be wearing this gardening. It means that I can roll up the sleeves, they'll stay put, they're not going to get in my way, and I really, really love the motif on the jumper. I think it's really different, it's really unique, and the pink colour is just really, really fun. So definitely something different for me, but something I definitely think I'm going to get a lot of wear out of, something that I just think is absolutely adorable. And you know what, if it sparks joy, then you deserve to add it to your basket. This jumper, on the other hand, there is going to be no question about the practicality or the use I'm going to get out of this. It's a really, really gorgeous striped roll neck jumper, and it's just absolutely stunning. I love my stripes, especially in springtime, and I feel like February is going to be the perfect month for this because it's really going to get me in that like springtime mood, but it's still nice and cozy warm. What I quite liked about this one is black with white stripes. I feel like you can just tell when a jumper is white with black stripes or black with white stripes. Is it just me? Let me know down below. But I really loved the collar of this. It's like a little bit of a roll down roll neck, but you can obviously fold it down away from your face as much as you can, and it's this really gorgeous soft jersey fabric. Oh, I've just noticed as well, look at the sleeves. It's got some really cute button details on the sleeves, which always makes jumpers look so much more expensive than they actually are. Again, something that I love about Warehouse. I feel like they add those really gorgeous little details that you might not normally see on high street brands. So I'll leave a link down below to their knitwear. They have really, really gorgeous knitwear pieces on there and so many lovely winter items. So another item that I thought was a great addition into my wardrobe, something that I don't personally have and something I know I'm going to get a lot of wear out of. And we're ending on a high. Out of the 3 jumpers, I definitely think this has to be my favorite because it's just so classic, so timeless, and because it's like got a black background, I find it's actually a bit more flattering than some of my other jumpers. Really love the fact that, again, as I said, it's got a roll neck, but because it rolls down, it's not claustrophobic at all. It's not too high on my neck. I actually just think it's super flattering. I also love the details on the cuffs. It really does elevate the jumper and make it look a lot more expensive. I've just got it paired with my leggings, but you could wear this in so many different ways. You could wear it tucked in with a pair of wide leg trousers. You could wear it with jeans. You could wear it with a slip skirt. I feel like the styling options when it comes to a stripy jumper are endless. So I'm so happy to have added this one into my wardrobe. I think I'm going to get so much wear out of it. It's so soft and so cozy. Oh, it's just ticking all of the boxes. And lastly, it's something that again is a very practical purchase with a bit of an agenda written onto it. So I mentioned a couple of times that I'm going skiing at the end of this month. I'm so excited about it. And this winter I've definitely noticed that I have a bit of a lack of hats. There's like literally one hat that I have in my collection that I like to wear, that's comfy, that's easy to style, that's really, really cozy. And I thought I needed to add a few more beanies in my collection, but I'm very particular with my beanies, what I like to style up, what I think suit me, and what I like to wear. So I saw these ones on Warehouse. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot smaller than I expected. I hope it stretches a lot, but I'll have to try it on and see what we think. But I thought this was a great one to add into my wardrobe to take with me skiing, but also just to have for autumn, winter time here in the UK whenever it gets chilly and I want to keep my head nice and toasty warm. Okay, I'm gonna need your help with regards to this beanie. I feel like it's too small. I feel like it's giving me a little bit of an egghead / burglar vibes. Not really feeling it, so I think this one is going to have to go back, but let me know if you think I should keep it and try and make it work. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so it's a funny one. I feel like it's just really not giving me the vibe that I get when I wear my Zara beanie, which is the one that's just my favorite, like pretty much the only one that I have in my collection that I wear religiously. So yeah, I think this one is going to have to go back, but if you think otherwise, let me know. But as I look at myself, I'm just like, wow, this is an egg. Well, not gonna lie to you, I could not tell you when the last time we had such a fashion heavy video was, but that was really, really fun to show you the new in pieces, do a little bit of organisation and a little bit of a dressing room tour. I feel like I've still been really productive today, despite the fact that I wasn't able to get done a lot of the jobs that were on my list. I still ticked off quite a few bits that I've been meaning to do for a really, really long time. So I still made the most of the day and had a really good time doing it. So I think I'm gonna leave this video here, guys. I really hope you did enjoy it. If you haven't already, I would absolutely love it if you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!